This doesn't even feel real. The Montreal Canadiens are now officially the hottest team in the NHL over their last 10 games. 17 points in their last 10 as Slafkovsky gets a goal. Lane Hutson gets another assist, 10 points in his last 6. But the star of this game, Jakub Dobes, making multiple insanely key saves. This was also all topped off by Joel Armia in one of his best games of the season, getting the empty netter. There is a lot we got to talk about on the Habs front, but it's not just the team tonight, Jesse. We also got a big old update from Ivan Demidov, who had 3 points in over 20 minutes of ice time, as he is probably the hottest player in the KHL. There was a lot of stuff we got to get into on this episode of Habs Digest. And guys, first thing I'm going to ask you guys, I don't do this super often anymore, but we are flying through the 17,000s and still half of you are not subscribed. We got daily Habs content, reactions after every single game. You want to stay up to date on the Habs and you're part of that 50% that hasn't hit subscribe. Hit it down below. You won't regret it, because we're going to be talking about stuff like this all the time, Jesse. This game was phenomenal. The Dallas Stars, who again, you could argue were the hottest team in the NHL coming into this game. They were 8-1 in their last 9 games, just barely beating Montreal less than a week ago, as that game went down to the wire in a shootout. But Montreal came back today, got a 3-1 convincing win on the back of Dobes. But Jesse, overall, this team effort every single night is unreal right now.
Absolutely. And really building off of that solid team effort. Like tonight, it was personal. They saw one of their few losses over that last series of 10 games was that overtime loss to the Dallas Stars. Now, today was a little bit of a gut check to kind of see where's this team really at. And it seems like they really wanted to get that W tonight. Again, very tight checking, again, Onger playing amazing. Dobes, like we've come to expect, but like really kind of gutting it out and just playing a solid game kind of throughout. Like for me, is just showing how this team is really building off some already stellar play right now.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Flash of the 3 stars of the game they gave at the end of the TSN broadcast. Dobes, number 1. Newhook getting the game-winning goal. Look at that, our boy. Getting back on the scoreboard there. He's played great on this little mini 2-game road trip. He had a couple of posts in Utah, so it was great to see him pop one today on that tip from the Lane Hutson point shot. And you know what? On that note, Jesse, we'll get to Dobes in a minute, but I want to talk about Lane Train first. Holy crap, Lane Hutson. I think a lot of fans want to talk about Lane Hutson. He's going to get a little bit lost in the sauce, maybe with Dobes playing well, but probably not, because I'm seeing a lot of Hutson praise as well. He now has 36 points on the season, which of course leads all rookies. He's 5th among all defensemen in assists. He now has 25 points, Jesse, in his last 23 games. He's on a 6-game point streak with 10 points in those 6 games. He creates opportunity every single minute he's on the ice, and the announcers couldn't stop talking about him today, and for good reason. Every time he's out there, something good happens. This is superstar forward level rookie production. Like if you take a rookie forward on other teams and say, oh yeah, he's got this many points, 25 points in 23 games, this would be unbelievable. This was a defenseman and he was deemed too small. I look, we've talked so much about Hutson, but it's legitimately unbelievable the stuff that him and these other young players are doing.
Absolutely is. And being the difference maker in today's game. Love that Newhook's kind of being the hero. But again, that play is orchestrated by Lane Hutson again, just doing those game winning type plays, wanting to be really the difference maker when it really matters the most. So again, it's like we're just expecting Josh now for him to get like a point every game. If he doesn't, it seems like there's something off. Like the standards are just so high for him right now of what he's doing. Again, helping his Calder chances once again with another very big game. It's not just a thing now where like where he's good offensively. Like Hutson is very good defensively as well. And I can't believe these two things, like how it's really kind of coming together right now. But this guy, again, is a huge reason of why we're getting this W in a very tight game.
This belief, I think, is the state of a lot of Habs fans right now. I mean, look, we believed in this team, but to the extent of what we're seeing right now with them going toe-to-toe against the hottest teams in the league. Look, this is since December 17th. They showed this during the game. These records are different now. Now Montreal's 11-2-1 since December 17th, whereas Dallas is now 9-4-1 as they lose in regulation today. Montreal has been scoring 3.7, that's slightly lower after tonight, goals per game, but their goals against per game has gone even lower. We're approaching 2 goals against per game since December 17th after Montreal, Jesse, in the first month or 2 of the season, being probably the worst defensive team in the league. The penalty kill is amazing. Even the power play is rolling at about between 20 and 25%. Every single night, they're doing some great stuff. And again, before we get to Dobes, because we do want to get into Demidov in a bit too, I want to shout out that first line tonight, Jesse, because that play between Slafkovsky and Caufield, I'll play it one more time for you guys was unbelievable. Caufield played a really good game, but Slafkovsky, I thought, especially in that first period, he looked really, really dominant. And I just really love to see the production from those guys coming from that effort.
And I love seeing Slaf just being a little bit more assertive out there, shooting the puck and really kind of getting rewarded. Like, this is the Slaf that I want to see kind of look like a new player out there tonight. And we see that the Montreal Canadiens have had a lot of their success. The greater part of it has been without Slafkovsky and Kirby Dach playing at their full potential.
Yep.
Now we just imagine they're playing well, but within your top six, you start getting Dach. He had some good looks tonight. Slaf kind of continue it. Like, that speaks volumes that they've been able to play so well without, some of their major contributors, kind of getting there as much as they should. So the fact that they're kind of turning the corner really leads, to help the argument of this team really being consistent kind of going forward and even having better showings. Again, it's like with the penalties, the fact that we're the most penalized team in the NHL and we're still one of the hottest teams, like these are some kind of self-inflicted wounds right now. Like, if we just stop doing that, like the fact that we're able to play so well while taking these penalties actually just speaks about how good this team actually can be, even better.
That's a fantastic point. But again, the Montreal's penalty kill has played a huge role, but the goaltending as well. Actually, again, there's one more guy I want to mention. There's so many guys I wanted to mention on this team. A great effort from everyone. But look, you got a goal from the first line, Slav. You got a goal from the second line in Newhook. But then the big thing too, Jesse, I thought no one was more deserving of that empty netter tonight than Joel Armia, a man who put up 8 hits tonight, played such a solid defensive game. Any quick words on him? He's been so good for Montreal this year. After being demoted to the AHL last year, this dude's turned it around, and I just love to see him every time on the ice.
Yeah, love the physical game from him. And again, though, like, this entire Habs team was really laying the body as well, out hitting the Dallas Stars by a sizable number. And we've seen this as a trend, Josh, over a course of a couple games now, really, where the Habs are really out hitting their competition. I love to see it. And it's just part of that transformation that we've really seen, this new identity from this team that they're really developing.
Yeah, unbelievable that Armia, 8 hits is almost crazy for him. Like, it's unbelievable. Almost as many as the rest of the friggin' team combined. Not really, but still unreal. But yeah, no, now it's time to talk about our guy. Like, look, Jakub Dobes. I mean, we're starting to dub him, Jesse. You've been dubbing him the Wolf, and I kind of like it, honestly. It fits. There's references. You pick whatever reference you want. Pulp Fiction references. It can make sense. The cleaner himself. There's a lot of things, a lot of ways you could take this. I like the nickname of the Wolf. It fits the mask. It fits the personality. Jesse, he is stone cold in net. He now has 4 games under his belt. In those 4 games, he is 4-0 with a 0.98 GAA and a save percentage. I forget the exact number, but somewhere in the 960s or 970s, something like that. This dude is legitimately unbelievable. Now, I'll play the highlights of the whole game. You'll see his save there. But the saves he made, the cross-crease saves, the glove save on the breakaway from Wyatt Johnston, he makes extremely difficult saves look extremely easy. This dude is so calm, cool, collected in net. He loves to play the puck. He loves to be out of the net. And he loves to make saves like that. What are we even seeing with this guy? I mean, we knew he was solid in the AHL. Maybe this is just one of those guys that with a decent NHL defense in front of him legit looks like a superstar. Like, this sample size is getting bigger and bigger, dude. It's just getting nuts.
The way that Jakub Dobes is playing right now, like, Jacob Fowler is going to need to make a stop in the AHL before he gets a chance at the NHL. For sure, Fowler's going to get, his chance at the NHL level, but he's going to have to pay his dues. He's going to have to wait for the right time because Jakub Dobes, you can't fault his game. The more that you watch him, the more that you like his game, the more that you watch him, you see the confidence that he really has in nets. Really, he's able just to really find his spacing so well on the ice and really challenging those shooters without kind of overcommitting himself on any type of 2-on-1, without kind of getting out of position. Like, his technique combined with his size right now, like, he is frustrating the opposition. You could see it visibly, from the Dallas Stars, where they're just looking up like, how do we beat this guy? He's covering the entire net. His technique is absolutely unreal right now. And again, it was just one of these things where it's like he let in that one goal, and we were all starting to kind of believe that as Habs fans, like, okay, this is the quota for the night. Like, the Habs team came into this third period very, very hopeful that they could get this win, not just because they came back so many times, if you just give them any sort of chance, but I mean, being tied like that going into it, I mean, Dobes just gave them every reason to kind of win the game, but like, we can't take for granted what he's doing right now at this level. Like, he's showing a lot of resilience. It's not just obviously like the techniques, but like the mental side of his game to come into the NHL and play this well and have this much confidence early on. It's just absolutely unreal for this team.
Not only this, like, I mean, not to send it back to another goalie, but like this is putting not pressure necessarily on Monty, but it's forcing Monty to step up. Like, hey, you want to play more? You got to outplay Dobes. And I love that. I think they both love that. They're both held to this high standard. And again, is this going to continue for the rest of the season for Dobes? I don't know. Probably not. But if it does, he might win the Calder over Lane Hutson. Like, legitimate. He legitimately looks like a superstar in net. And I know, tiny sample, but these 4 games against 4 of the best teams in the league every single day. This dude, I just genuinely don't think I can comprehend how good he looks in the numbers he's putting up. But you know what? Let us know your thoughts on all this stuff. Jakub Dobes, Caufield, Juraj Slafkovsky, Lane Hutson, all that down below. It's some good stuff. We do have one more thing we got to get into. We rambled about the game, but I know you guys love it. We do want to talk about Demidov, and you should stick around for this, promise. Demidov, in his last 10 games now, Jesse, after a 3-point game today with 1 goal, 2 assists in 22 minutes time on ice today. Rottenberg said some very nice things about him, said he's gotten to another level, especially mentally. Nothing phases this guy. Rottenberg himself said that Demidov's got to another level. Who knows why, but hey, it is what it is. And as you can see, Grav here on Twitter posted this. Last 10 games, 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points, 36 shots on goal, including this great little goal in tight, sneaking it between the legs. Very, very cheeky. Barely going in, but a goal's a goal. It counts. What have you thought about him, Jesse? Just real quick as we cap off this video.
Very much like Lane Hutson, Ivan Demidov is just finding a way to get points like the best players do. And again, this is, a really amazing sign for a young player. Again, we know that Demidov's been keeping tabs on Lane Hutson, and I see just similar things. Again, getting 3 points in this game. Obviously there's kind of some very skilled plays to showing amazing hands, kind of deking in a telephone booth there. But on some other plays, like for sure he's contributing off faceoffs and different things, but he's just finding a way to get those points, which those superstar players do at every single level. So the fact that he just continued to rack it up, it's basically just pure math with Demidov at a certain point. You put him over, 20 minutes of ice, and he's just going to get a lot of points for your team right now. We'll see. He's actually, still in competition to potentially be Kaprizov's record for most points in the rookies. So it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, we're going to be keeping tabs on this. It's just phenomenal what we're seeing, just his overall impact on the game right now.
Yeah, he's 8 points away from breaking the record for most points ever in an age 19 season in the KHL. That is bonkers. He could do that in his next fight. He could even do it in fewer games than Kaprizov if he keeps on this pace. Unbelievable. I did forget one thing. I know we're really late into the video. I forgot it. Jakub Dobes.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be. It has to be.
Jakub Dobes is the Mitchell Stevens player of the game. Had to do that, guys, for you guys. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We're pushing towards 18,000. 20,000 is not far away. You guys have been supporting like crazy. And if you made it almost 13 minutes into this longer video, come on, I think we've earned it at this point if you haven't hit it already. But thank you all so much for watching. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.